Lethal Company is one of the funniest multiplayer horror games I have ever played in my entire life. And while it can have some scary moments while playing with your friends, playing completely by yourself is a completely different horrifying experience. This is the Lethal Company single player experience. Now I could just play the game and be faced with the harsh reality of this game being brutally hard while playing alone and make that a video. But that would be generic and wouldn't add any stakes. So for this video, I have a checklist of things I need to complete while playing all alone. Number 1, I have to finish 3 quotas without being ejected. Should be easy, right? Number 2, I need to get enough cash to be able to go to Titan. Titan is one of my favorite moons anyway, so this isn't really a detriment, but it's a really good goal to have regardless. Number 3, I need to find and take an apparatus. This will not only be a challenge because I have to find the apparatus, but also because I need to get out of the building, which could be kind of hard when all the power turns off and more monsters spawn. Number 4, I need to kill any monster with a shovel. I'm not going to force myself to kill a specific monster because I don't want to set myself up for failure, but I still got to kill something. And number 5, probably the hardest thing to accomplish, especially alone, I need to go to an eclipsed moon. Doesn't matter if I die or not, I just need to go there. But obviously going there and dying could ruin my quota. Failing to complete this checklist will... I guess we'll just see if we get to that point. Okay, Baylin, you could do this, you could do this, you could do this, you could do this. It's fine, it's fine. You play this game all the time. It's gonna be the same without your friends. I immediately go to experimentation because it tends to be my safe zone. Get used to me landing here, as it happens most of the video. I purchased a pro flashlight, one of the rare occasions that I actually buy equipment. It would probably be smarter to buy more equipment to be more prepared, but I need to save as many credits as possible to get to Titan. After trekking to the entrance of the facility, I take my first few steps into the start of what would become a nightmare. As the run goes on, you may notice that I only really look in the rooms and hallways extremely close to the exit, and that's because I don't want to risk anything, which actually isn't really out of fear. Sure, I was probably wetting my pants throughout the entirety of the run, but I more so just did this to try and play smart. For each quota, I only have 3 days to get the scrap I need to make said quota. If I die, I lose an entire day of getting scrap. If I die on day 2 or 3, I lose all the scrap I made on the previous days, immediately making me lose. So while I miss out on a lot of scrap in the facility on most moons, if I don't play like this, I risk losing everything and the run just dies. That being said, I venture into the maze hallways recklessly almost immediately. My memory is just awful and I almost always get lost, but I was determined. I ended up finding a locked door, but luckily there was a key right next to it. But past this door, I had a choice. An engine sat on the other side of the room the door led me into, and between me and the engine was an endless abyss, waiting for me to misstep and fall into it. I was never a fan of these little parkour parts in the facility and would usually avoid them as much as I could. But today, there were stakes. I either made the quota or suffer the consequences. So I jumped, and I fall to my death and die. I'm just kidding. I made the jump, grabbed the engine, and jump back and skedaddle back to the entrance. Or at least I would have if I didn't immediately get lost. Luckily, my little detour led me to a room that scored me a big bolt. With my hands full and my terrible memory, I ran circles multiple times until I miraculously found my way out of the maze and out the front door. I dropped my loot in front of the entrance and charged back into the facility, running towards the fire exit that somehow spawned only a couple of hallways away from the main entrance. I picked up the large axle in front of the fire exit and decided that was all I needed on the first moon and dipped. For the next moon, I decided to go to March, as experimentation decided to be stormy that day and I did not want to deal with the lightning. Forgetting to charge my flashlight, I head into the facility and, of course, it's the darkest room of all time. I aimlessly wander in the dark, actually collecting a few really good items right off the bat, and in true Baylin Todd fashion, decide to leave the moon in only 5 in-game hours. Let's take off. I immediately head back to experimentation, this time purchasing a shovel to remind myself that I need to eventually take out a monster. I quickly grab all the quick loot in the main entrance, knowing I already have quota, but before leaving I decide to give the fire exit a shot and get my first chance to get my monster killed, but nope. With my pants a little wet and my dignity gone, I leave and set sail to the company. This video is sponsored by nobody, but this video did take a long time to make, so if you want to help out your favorite small YouTuber, me, and you're one of the lucky wealthy individuals, why not become a member of this channel? It's only $5 unless you want it to be more for some reason, and it helps me make videos like this more often. But anyway, back to my nightmare. I sell all my stuff to the company, making me 233 credits that will help me make my Titan dream a reality. But worry starts to set in. I'm 1 quota in and have none of the other 4 goals completed, so I needed to start getting stuff done. I head back to March, which presents me with a great opportunity, a beehive. Beehives are a little bit tricky to grab with the bees guarding it. And up to this point, I've never gotten one myself before. But I know the strat and I decide to try it. My first 2 attempts fail. I even take damage on the second one. I was having serious issues picking it up, but finally on my 3rd attempt, I got the hive in my hands and I ran back to the ship. My stamina wasn't going to allow me to get into the spot that I needed, so I dropped the hive in front of the ship and got ready for another try. I lured the bees towards me, grabbed the hive one last time, and ran towards the back of the ship, dropping the beehive successfully in the place that I wanted it. I'm actually proud that I pulled this off, but it took me 5 in-game hours, so I needed to get in the facility, grab loot, and get out. I ended up only grabbing one engine that was easy access, and left with what I had, starting the ship, and then grabbing the beehive to bring it in. Like the baby I am, I head back to experimentation to go back to my safe space, and get an easy moon. Little did I know, this would be the most eventful moon of this entire run. Why are we making that noise? Crazy how this is just a complete and utter dead end. Alright, well, only choice is this way. Huh, everything's a dead end except for here. The apparatus. I can't kill a thumper. I'm too bad for that. Thumper is directly in my entrance. Nope. Oh, fucking Christ. Why'd that scare me? No. Oh my flipping god. Oh my god. Holy, get me out of here. Dude, my heart is racing. We killed the loot bug. We got the apparatus. Oh, we just got a 4 Titan. We got to go to Eclipsed Moon. And we got to get the 3 quotas. In just one single moon, 2 of the 5 tasks were completed in the most dramatic way possible. I don't really like patting myself on the back too much, but I was actually extremely proud of myself in this moment. Although, I could feel my heartbeat in my throat, and a new change of pants was needed. But after calming down, I land back in experimentation. I decided to just grab whatever's easy and immediately head out, because after getting the apparatus, I had already made the quota. I'm not getting locked in. There's no shot I'm getting locked in, so I'm taking the fire exit. I don't even care. After grabbing whatever was nearby the fire exit, I head out and visit the company for the 2nd time in the run, now feeling more confident that I could get everything done. Nothing could stop me now, except for the fact that every single planet had some sort of weather condition. I decided to go back to experimentation, as it's only rainy there, and it's probably the easiest weather condition to survive as long as I'm not dumb enough to sit in quicksand. At this point, I got the groove down, and I collect as much loot as I can near the entrance. But fate called my name to the luckiest apparatus spawn of all time, right next to the entrance. After getting an engine outside and a flask in my hand, I'd take the apparatus and bolt out of the facility, not looking back for a second. At this point, I grew a little bit tired of experimentation and head back to my 2nd best friend, March. You already know the drill by now. I grabbed all the nearby loot, and honestly, I was feeling a bit daring to explore and find more loot, but nope. Nope. That area is dead to me. That area is just dead to me. What more do you want from me? I'm not playing with thumpers anymore after the last encounter. One last moon until the last quota. I checked the moons, ready to head back to one of my 2 favorites, to find them flooded and foggy. 2 weathers I didn't want to mess with on my last day of the last quota, so I suck it up and go to my least favorite moon, Val. That was actually supposed to be an easier version of March, but I'm dumb and prefer March's more open and straightforward path to the facility, even if it's more dangerous when the giants are roaming. With Thou, I just always get lost, and today was no different. Luckily, I made sure to learn the path this time and shouldn't be getting lost anymore in the future. I take the brick bridge because there's no way I'm risking everything on that rickety bridge, even if it was 100% safe for one person. Before going in, I did the math on how much more I needed to meet quota, and this is what happened. 37. All we need is 37. An egg beater. At exactly 37. This would be one of the coolest and clutchest endings to the third quota if... What? I must have misscanned or something. That's weird. Well, we made it. Okay, so my scanner decided not to work completely and I didn't scan everything I had on the ship. Luckily, this meant we were over quota anyway, and this turns out to be better. 3 quotas done by myself without dying. And this means we could buy Titan, and all of the first 4 tasks were done. We were just missing... Titan's eclipsed. Oh my gosh. Eclipse moons are terrifying, but you don't need me to tell you that. This is what it looked like for me. It's time. What the fuck? Why was it coming for me? Dude, fuck you guys. I can't. The dogs are still listening to my footsteps somehow. Yeah, I left. So what? I didn't say I had to die there. Doesn't matter if I brought literally nothing. What do you mean that's an anticlimactic ending? I almost died. What do you mean go back to Titan? Fine. S+? It's over. No fucking way I'm getting haunted already. I heard a little girl's whisper and left. There's no way. I made 159 though, which is crazy in one day with only 3 things. Yeah. I'm never doing this ever again. Unless...